So good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. If you're not already in child's pose, find yourself in child's pose, knees wide, toes together, sitting on your heels, bringing the chest down in between your knees, forehead to the mat, or forehead to the side if that suits you. You can have the arms alongside the body, or the arms can be reaching forward and just allowing the chest to sink to the mat. And from here, we begin to deepen the breath. So enjoying that connection with the earth. You can activate the shoulders by creeping the fingertips forward, just walking them gently forward. Have a nice activation under the arms. And just begin to draw your attention inwards and start a more conscious, more mindful version of the breath today. So maybe slowing it down, or maybe breathing with a little more awareness as to what muscles are used by the body to inhale and to exhale. So it may mean putting a little bit more effort, or it may be actually releasing a little bit of control with the breath. So slowly feeling the oxygen moving through the nose, through the throat, through the chest as your rib cage expands. And then as you exhale, feel your chest sinking into the mat as the old air escapes. Maybe breathing in for the count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and then exhaling 2, 3, 4. Inhaling 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 2, 3, 4. Just continue this more mindful breath, this more conscious breath. For the duration of the practice. If you've just joined us, we're all in child's pose. And then when you're ready, start to engage the Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, drawing the navel in and up, and really pulling up on the pelvic floor, that root lock. Try and keep that engaged for the rest of the practice. Okay, and then slowly, when you're ready, on a big inhale, move the arms over to the right. Okay, keep the sit bones exactly where they are, just move the arms over to the right. Couple more breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, walking the hands back to center, and then exhale, walking the hands over to the left. Sinking the hips low, sinking the chest towards the mat, and enjoy the stretch on the right hand side this time. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, walk the hands over to the mat once more, and then sink the hips back one last time in child's pose. And then inhale slowly, walk the hands back towards you. Bring the knees together, okay? And then we'll take a little twist over to the left. So right hand comes on the outside of the left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, twist, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, pivot on your spinal axis. Last breath, inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head. And then exhale, twist a little bit more. Not overexerting yourself on your first twist. Inhale back to center and exhale, left hand comes on top of the right thigh, on the side of the right thigh. Right hand behind you, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. Inhaling, and exhale, twisting on one axis. Last breath, inhale, and then exhale, gazing over your right shoulder. Twisting a little deeper, up for 3. Inhale, return to center. And then exhale, just sit down, cross the legs underneath you, and then sit down, coming into a cross-legged seated position. Okay, putting your palms of your hands on top of your knees. And then on an inhale, launch the chest forward, bringing the shoulders back as you increase the arch of the spine. And then exhale, bringing your chin into your chest, rounding the shoulders, pushing the shoulder blades back. Inhaling, so it's a seated cat-cow. And then exhaling, tuck the chin into chest, drawing the navel right back in towards the spine as you tilt on your sit bones backwards. And inhale, shifting the pelvis, tilting it forward, arching the back, bringing the shoulders back. Really pull up on your knees to give yourself some purchase here. And exhale, rounding, doming, emptying of air. Inhale. And then exhale. Last one on your own. Inhaling.
Please don't go.
And exhaling. Nice.
Where are you?
Inhale, roll over your legs. Place the hands in front of you, coming into a tabletop position. And then tuck onto the back toes. And then hover your knees off the floor for just a moment. Okay, we're just going to stay here. Really engage the core. This is a time to figure out whether you are engaging your core or not. Yeah, really fire up the glutes here. And then slowly, as you spread the fingertips, slowly, really slowly start to lift the knees off the floor, even higher, higher, higher. Lifting the tailbone off the floor. And then pushing into the hands, lifting the tailbone up to the sky. And see if you can energetically get those heels to the mat. It's okay to keep the knees deeply bended at this stage of the class. Okay, no problems here. Just bending maybe individually. As you inhale, one heel reaches down, and as you exhale, the other reaches down. So just gradually bring some mobility into these knee joints and some gentle stretching into the backs of the legs. Downward facing dog, Ardha Svanasana. Shoulders away from the ears, palms are spread, you're lengthening through the side body. As you're energetically drawing the heels down, it doesn't matter if they're near or far away from the mat. That's no problem here this morning. Okay, really engage the core. The more you do that, the more your tailbone will naturally lift and you'll get a better V shape. Slowly look between the hands and then gently tiptoe the feet to the top of the mat. And then fold and stretch the legs. Grab opposite elbows, keeping the hips where they are. I'm going to pivot just for you, and then just bring your torso over to the left, and then over to the right. Head is heavy, neck is long. You're gazing maybe at your knees or your shins. And just move from side to side, linking the movement and the breath. Inhaling, and then exhaling in the opposite direction. Releasing the hands, and on an inhale, slowly roll up, stacking vertebra on top of vertebra. Okay, core is engaged, taking your time, and then when you're at the top, gently rolling the shoulders back and down for Tadasana, mountain pose. Tailbone is long, shoulders are down, fingertips are extended towards the mat. Tucking the chin in slightly, chin is parallel to the floor. Lifting through the crown of the head, engaging in your core, pulling up on your pelvic floor, pulling up on the quadriceps and the knees, toes are spread, Tadasana, mountain pose. As you inhale, lift the prayer. Interlace the fingers, releasing the index finger. reaching up on an inhale, and then exhale, bringing the body down over to the left. Inhaling, and then exhale, bending. Inhaling, remember to open up the chest, don't close it, i.e. don't face towards the floor, face towards the front. Exhaling. Last breath, inhale, reach a little further, and then exhale, bring the body down as low as you can. Big stretch on the right. Inhale back to center, and exhale, bring the body down over to the right hand side. Enjoying the stretch on the left. Inhaling, reaching, and then exhale, pushing those hips over to the left, body over to the right. Last breath here, inhaling, opening up the chest, not closing it, and then exhaling. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, drop the head back as you engage the glutes, pushing the hips forward, and then bringing the arms overhead for a little back bend. Inhaling and exhaling. Couple more here. Inhaling, reaching through the chest, lifting the chest up towards the sky, and then exhale, reaching back. Last one, inhale. You should be shaking by now, but it's okay, that's normal. Exhaling. Inhale, engage the tummy muscles and come back up to stand. Whew. And remember to breathe. Inhaling, lift out and up, and then exhale, folding forward and down, Uttanasana. Well done, guys. Head is heavy, neck is long. Maybe you want to shake out the head if there's a little bit of tension there. And then just heel toe the feet so that they're hip width apart if they're not already. And then with your two peace fingers, grabbing hold of the big toes, little bind like this, deeply bending the knees in order to do that. So you're deeply bending the knees here. And then gradually, you're going to see if you can straighten the legs a little bit, lifting the tailbone to the sky as you pull up on the big toes with your hands. Again, head is heavy, neck is long. All the weight is in the balls of your feet. You feel like you're about to topple over and dive straight onto your forehead onto the mat, okay? Padangastasana. Enjoy that stretch on the backs of the legs. 3 more breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, elbows wide, and exhaling, forehead energetically to mat. Last breath here, inhale, and exhale. See if you can straighten the legs if they're not straight. Inhale, release the bind, and then exhale, slide the palms of the hands underneath the soles of the feet. So your toes are all the way up to the wrist creases. It's a more subtler movement here, but we're doing a similar movement, just a different version. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Knees can be as bent as they need to be. And then exhale, fold. Inhaling. Exhale, 2. As you inhale, again, the weight is in the balls of the feet. You feel like you could topple over. Exhale, 3. Inhale, if your knees are bent, start to begin to straighten them ever so slightly. Exhale, 4. Last breath here. Exhale, 5. Nice. Inhale, release the hands. And then shake out the legs a little bit. Inhale, deeply bend the knees, sweep the arms up, Uttanasana chair. And then exhale, straighten the legs for Tadasana mountain pose. Time for our sun salutations. Okay, standing at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift a prayer through heart center, gaze to thumbs. And exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, palms to mat. Step your right foot way back, followed by your left foot to a strong plank. Engage the core. And then gently bend. Actually, drop the knees, sorry. First chaturanga. No, not yet. Drop the knees to the mat and then slowly bend the elbows, bringing the torso to the floor. Inhale, little baby cobra here. Lowest ribs can be down at this point. And then exhale, press into the mat with the palms. Seat to heels, tuck under the toes, downward facing dog. Hold here for 1. Inhaling. Exhale, 2. Inhale, shoulders away from the ears. You're gazing in between toes. Exhale, 3. Do you inhale, you're drawing up upon the quadriceps, really pressing into the palms for 4. Inhale, pushing that chest towards your thighs. Exhale, 5. Inhale, look between the hands. Step your right foot between the hands, followed by your left foot to meet right. Fold and stretch the leg. Inhale, lift the prayer through heart center, reaching up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, lift the prayer, sea thumbs. Exhale, sucking the core in, folding forward and down, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up to fingertips or hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, palms down, left foot steps back, followed by the right foot. Option to drop knees, then chest and chin, or have your first chaturanga, bending at the elbows halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog or a cobra, maybe a little higher cobra this time. Exhale, tuck the chin into chest, roll over the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog for 1. Inhaling. Exhale, 2. Inhale, you're lengthening at the sides of the rib cage. Exhale, 3. Inhale, see if you can get the heels to the mat. Exhale, 4. Inhale, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, 5. Inhale, look between the mat. Step your left foot forward, followed by your right foot. Then fold and stretch the legs. Neck is long. Inhale, suck into the core. With a flat back, rise up, hands through heart center. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana, mountain pose. Last one. Inhale, lift the prayer through heart center, sea thumbs. Exhale, follow the prayer all the way down. Uttanasana, head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. And exhale, press into the palms. Hop, step or jump your feet to the back of the mat. And then slowly bend at the elbows just halfway. Shoulders no lower than elbows, check. Inhale, upward facing dog. Thighs are lifted, knees up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. You are here for 5 breaths. This is 1. Inhaling. Exhale, 2. Inhale, you're slightly outwardly rotating the upper arms and inwardly rotating the lower arms for 3. Inhale, see if you can maybe lift your toes off the mat. Go on, you can do it. Exhale, 4. Inhale, chest to thighs. Exhale, 5. Inhale, look between the hands. Engaging the core. Hop, step or jump your feet to the front of the mat. Fold and stretch the legs. Inhale, lifting the prayer through heart center. Hands above the head. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, deeply bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Utkatasana chair. Exhale, hold here for 1. Inhale, lifting the arms alongside the ears. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, 3. Inhale, drawing the knees back. Make sure you can see your toes. Exhale, 4. Last breath, sinking the hips from here as low as you can. Exhale, 5. Nice. And then fold and stretch the legs and let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, palms down. Hop, step or jump your feet to the back of the mat, into a plank, and slowly lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, totally up to you. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot between the hands. Back heel comes down. Lift up to warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg for a moment. Bring the back foot in a couple of inches. Wrap the left arm round you, grabbing hold of a little piece of material on your right hip, or the right hip if you can. Reaching with the right arm. Reach, reach, reach. Get a good side stretch forward on the right side body. Reach beyond your limit. And then right arm comes down. Left shoulder comes up. It's a slight variation on a triangle, which we normally do. Baddha Trikonasana, bound triangle, hold here for 1. Inhaling, if this is a struggle, you can do traditional triangle. Exhale 2. Inhale, really reach out from this right side body to hover this right hand off the mat. Exhale 3. You're still spinning the chest open by moving back the left shoulder in space. Exhale 4. Inhale, your body is parallel to the floor. Still reaching through the crown of the head for 5. Inhale, strong legs, strong core, rise up. And then exhale, rebend that right leg. Coming and bringing the arms parallel to the floor. Arms wide for warrior 2. Hold here for 1. As you inhale, you're lifting through the crown of the head. As you exhale, you're sinking the hips, elongating the tailbone. As you inhale, you're trying to get that right leg parallel to the floor, stacking the right knee above the right ankle for 3. As you inhale, your arms are reaching away from each other. And as you exhale, you're outwardly rotating both thigh bones. So see if you're tracking once more your right knee above your right ankle. Last breath here, sink the hips even lower. Exhale 5. Inhale, straighten that front leg for a moment. Exhale, rebend that front knee, bringing your right forearm to the right thigh, bringing the left arm up and over. Or if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can maybe place the right hand on the outside of the right foot. So it's a much deeper stretch here in the hip. If it pinches a bit too much in that right hip flexor, don't do it. Reach up and out like this, okay? Wherever you are, whatever version of Utthita Parsvakonasana, just hold 1. Inhaling, you're still trying to spin this chest open. Exhale 2. Wherever you are, you're still gazing. Your drishti, your focal point is to your left fingertips. Exhale 3. Inhaling. You're not dumping into this right shoulder wherever you are. You're pushing down to reach up. Nice oxymoron there. Exhale 4. Last breath. Exhale 5. Inhale, strong legs, strong arms. Come back up to standing. Then pivot the right toes towards the left side of the room. So you're kind of pigeon-toeing your feet slightly. We're going to take a wide-legged forward fold here. Hands on the hips. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale with a strong tummy and a flat back, folding forward and down. So bringing the fingertips to the mat if you can. I'm just going to adjust this ever so slightly. There we go. Okay. So either stay here, okay, or see if you can grab a block, like a couple of books or some cushions if you need to elevate yourself a little bit more. If the ground seems a little bit too far away, make the ground come up to you. So you may be on fingertips, you may be bringing the palms down. You may want to start walking the palms back, so the palms of the hands, so the heels of the hands are in line with your heels. And if you have a tripod headstand at this point, feel free to come into it. So bringing the top of the head down and then coming up into a tripod, if you would like. If not, just bring the weight forward. Your weight should be in the balls of your feet. And then just see if you can energetically try and get the forehead down to the mat. Okay? So wherever you hear, we're going to have, wherever you are, sorry, we're going to have 3 more breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. If you're in tripod, remember to bring your elbows together. They'll always naturally splay out, so bring them only a shoulder width apart. Exhaling. Last breath, wherever you are, inhaling and exhaling, fold. Inhale, come up to your fingertips, hands on the hips, and slowly bring the torso back up. Nice. And then bend the right knee deeply, bringing the left toes off the mat, then walking the hands over to the left, then the right, and then inhaling, exhale. Inhaling to center, exhale, squatting, and then inhaling, and then exhale, squatting for the last time. Inhale, I'm just trying to get the juices flowing in these hips. And then exhale, sinking deep into the right hip, because we've been working the right hip all this time. Holding here in this posture for 5 breaths. This is 1, Skandasana. Inhaling. Exhale 2. If your right heel comes off the mat, that's absolutely fine. Exhale 3. Inhale wherever you are, lift the chest, sink the hips low. Exhale 4. Inhale, see if you can peel the left toes off the mat. Exhale 5. Inhale, walk the hands over to the other side of the mat. Frame the left foot and then step back to a plank. Nice strong plank here. And slowly lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Hold here for 1. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. Exhale 2. Feel free to drop your knees and to rest in child's pose for the last 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhaling. You can always rest in child's pose if you challenge or this practice is getting a little overwhelming. That's absolutely no problem. It's a very calming posture. And you reground yourself very easily by increasing that connection to the earth and just taking a little moment to have some breaths here in child's pose. So spreading the fingertips, tucking under the back toes, coming back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, look between the hands, and then step your left foot between the hands, coming into warrior 2 again on the other side. Inhale, straighten that left leg for a moment, bring the back foot in a couple of inches. This time your right arm comes all the way around, trying to grab your left hip or a little bit of material on the left hand side. The left arm reaches way beyond the limits, getting a good side stretch on the left side body. And then exhale, left arm comes down. Right shoulder comes up for Baddha Trikonasana. Hold here for 1. Inhaling, remember you can go back to traditional Trikonasana here on this side 2. Exhale 2. Inhale wherever you are, trying to spin this chest open by moving the right shoulder back in space. Exhale 3. Inhale, bringing the torso parallel to the floor if you can. Exhale 4. Last breath, grounding down with the outer edges of the back foot, lifting the inner arches. Exhale 5. Nice. Strong legs, strong core. Slowly rise up. And then exhale, rebending that left knee, bringing that right leg a little bit further away from you as you sink the hips low here for warrior 2. Hold 1. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head, and exhale, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, left thigh is parallel to the floor, tracking the left knee above the left ankle for 3. Inhale, you're still growing long through the ribs here as you're sinking the hips low for 4. Inhale, arms reaching away from each other as you externally rotate both thighs, really trying to open up these hips for 5. Inhale, straighten that front leg for a moment. Exhale, rebend that left knee, and either the left forearm comes onto the left thigh, right arm reaches up and over, or the palm of the left hand goes to the outside of the left foot for a deeper posture here, deeper squeeze in that left hip. And if it doesn't feel right, if it did on the other but it didn't on this, then don't do it, okay? You still want to feel comfortable and not in any pain whatsoever. Wherever you are, hold here for 3 more breaths. Inhale, spinning that chest open. Exhale, 1. Inhale, gaze, wherever you are, is to the right fingertips. Exhale, 2. Inhaling. And exhale, 3. Nice. Inhale, straighten that front leg, bring the torso up, and then pivot the left toes this time towards the front. Hands on the hips. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, flat back, folding forward and down. So you're sending the hips back and the chest forward. Okay, so you're bringing your head in between your legs, pigeon-toeing your toes. Bringing the left hand down, right arm reaches up. Pivot the chest facing towards the right. Holding here for 1. Inhaling. And exhale, 2. Inhale, twisting from the navel. Exhale, 3. Inhale, your one line wrist to wrist. Exhale, 4. Last breath here, twist a little bit deeper, open up the chest a little bit more for 5. Inhale, right arm reaches down, and you're going to swap the right palm comes into the middle of the mat, and then exhale. Left arm reaches up, holding here for 1. Inhaling. Exhale, 2. Inhale, the weight's still in the balls of your feet. Exhale, 3. Inhale, softening around the midriff in order to twist on one axis. Exhale, 4. Last breath, reach up. Exhale, 5. Inhale, return to center. And then exhale, come into a squat on the left side. Inhale, walk the hands over to the right. And then exhale, hold here. Inhale, walking the hands over. Then exhale, sink the left hip. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Inhaling, just get a little bit of movement going here. Exhaling. Last time. Inhale. And then exhale, really slow the breath down here, even though the heart rate is probably moving up a notch. And then sink the hips low on this left-hand side. So you're sinking into the left hip, straightening the right leg, peeling the right toes off the floor. Hands at heart center if you can, or it's okay to keep your hands on the fingertips here, or palms of the hands down for a bit of balance if you need. The Skandasana. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths because I know I've kept you here a long time. Inhaling. Exhale, 1. Inhale, remember it's okay to lift this left heel off the floor. Exhale, 2. Wherever you are, lift the chest and sink the hips. Exhale, 3. Nice, well done. Inhale, walking hands over, back to the other side of the mat, pivot on the back foot. Step back to a plank and slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Thighs lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now you can stay here in downward facing dog or in child's pose for 5 breaths, your choice. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale, notice what your inner dialogue is saying to you. Are you being cruel? Are you being kind to yourself this morning? Last couple of breaths here. Can we hold a paradox of working hard but being gentle? Loving but also protective? Breathing in and breathing out. Placing the palms down, spreading the fingertips, tucking onto the back toes, meeting all in downward facing dog if you weren't there already. Slowly look to the front of the mat and hop, step or jump. Your feet to the front of the mat, fold and stretch the legs. Inhale, lifting the breath through heart center, Urdhva. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. I'm just going to adjust this camera ever so slightly. Okay. So as you inhale, the right foot steps way back. Just one stride, just one kind of leg length back. So both hips are square and they're facing forwards. Inhale, lift and lengthen as the hands are on the hips, and then exhale, drawing that left hip back and moving the right hip forward in space, folding forward over that left leg. Hands can come to fingertips either side of the left leg, and we're taking a fold here in your pyramid pose or Parsvottanasana. Holding here for 1. Inhaling, exhale 2. With every inhale, you're lifting and lengthening the torso, and with every exhale, you're trying to bring your forehead towards your shin. Inhale, the gaze, the drishti is towards your left big toe. 4. Last breath, inhale. Remember to draw that left hip back, right hip forward. It really increases that stretch down the back of the left leg. Exhale, 5. Inhale, slowly rise up with a strong core. And then bring the right arm up alongside the right ear. And then exhale, you're going to hinge again from the hips 1 more time. And this time placing the right fingertips on the outside of the left leg, for a twisted triangle. And then left arm reaches up towards the sky, holding here for 1. Inhaling and exhale 2. Inhale, that's fine if you're wobbling. This is slightly harder on carpet, so give yourself a break. Exhale 3. Inhale, left hip comes back, right hip comes forward as before. Exhale 4. Inhale, see if you can gaze to your left fingertips and bring the right fingertips up above the floor. Hover them. Nice. Exhale 5. Inhale, windmill the hands up, so right arm comes on alongside right ear. And then exhale, right foot comes to meet the left at the front of the mat. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, left leg this time steps 1 stride back. And remember here, you want a little bit of space in between your right and your left leg. A little bit of width here to make some room for the hips. Inhale, drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward this time. Exhale, hinging at the hips, folding forward, leading with the chest. The pyramid on the other side, holding 1. Inhaling, lifting and lengthening that torso. And then exhale, folding over that right leg. Inhale, lengthening a little bit more. And then exhale, trying to get that forehead to your shin. Inhale, grounding down with the right big toe this time. Exhale, fold. Last breath, remember drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward to increase that stretch. Exhale, 5. Nice. Inhale, strong core, flat back, rise up. And then inhale, lift that left arm alongside the left ear this time. And then exhale, folding forward 1 more time. This time with the left fingertips come on the outside of the right leg. Right arm reaches up towards the sky for twisted triangle on the other side, holding here for 1. Inhale, Parivrtta Trikonasana. Exhale 2. Inhale, drawing that right hip back, left hip forward again. A little reminder there. Exhale 3. Inhale, 1 line wrist to wrist. Exhale 4. Inhale, tell yourself you're doing brilliantly. Exhale 5. Inhale, lift at your right foot, and then slowly windmill the hands up. And then exhale, hands by your side to Tadasana, mountain pose. Lovely. Inhale, deeply bend the knees, sweep the arms up in Tadasana chair. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And then hook the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Hands to prayer, sink the hips low, holding here for 1. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Inhaling, exhale 2. So you inhale, try and draw that right hip back in space to square off the hips. Have a look down on your knees in 1 line. Exhale 3. Inhale, sinking the hips even lower if you can. Exhale 4. Inhale, gazing over the left shoulder. Exhale 5. Inhale, slowly, looking at your feet, draw the right heel to your butt. And then gracefully stepping the right toes back. Okay, so you're coming into this lunge here. Your legs are kind of in a low lunge. If this is too much for you, you can always drop that right knee to the floor, but wherever you are, you're still pressing the hands into your sternum, pushing into them to spin the chest open, holding here for 1. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. If you haven't got the knee raised, maybe you want to try for the last 2 breaths. Exhale, 4. Inhaling, still growing tall through the crown of the head. Kicking that back heel away from you. Exhale, 5. Inhale, look at your left toe. And keeping your hands in prayer here. Sucking in your core. Really, really engaging in that core. And then placing the left knee on the outside. Sorry, the right knee on the outside of the left ankle. That wasn't done very gracefully. Inhale. Right arm reaches up to the sky, and then exhale. Right elbow is on the outside of the left knee, left arm behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Sitting back, remember you're on both sit bones, okay? Both of them are touching the floor, so just try and rearrange your legs so you're not sitting on your heels at all. And then exhale, twist, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, twist. 3 more breaths. Inhaling. And then exhale, twisting. Inhale, feel the right side of your ribcage really expanding. And as you exhale, the left side shrinking and emptying. Last breath here. And then exhale, twisting a little bit deeper for 5. Inhale, derotate. So just twist the other way for 1 breath. And exhale. Inhale, left leg swings all the way behind you, coming into pigeon. So set up pigeon however you like, if you are familiar with it. Otherwise, try and get your front shin, the right shin. You want to aim to get it parallel to the front of the mat, but that can be quite difficult and quite intense. So I like to have it at about a 45-degree angle here, or it can be less. The right heel can be right underneath you. Either way, your hands are by your hips, you're squaring off your hips. Inhale, lifting and lengthening, and then exhale, folding, bringing the chest down, kind of like in child's pose. You can always feel free here, if this is a little intense, to take a bit of padding and place it underneath your right butt cheek, okay, to lift you up a little bit higher. Wherever you are, you stay here for 5 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. With every inhale, feel expansive and the ribcage expanding, massaging your spine from the inside. And with every exhale, sink and surrender into the earth. Last breath, inhaling and exhaling. Nice. Inhale, pressing into the palms, bringing the palms by your chest, lifting up the torso very, very slowly, and then swinging that left leg back around in front of you. And we're going to meet in Navasana, in boat pose. So you can hold underneath your thighs to begin with, bringing up the shins parallel to the floor. If that's too much today, maybe you just bring your toes down here to the mat, pointing the toes. The back is straight, okay? You're sitting back, tilting on your sit bones ever so slightly. And then release the legs if you can. Bring the arms alongside the legs, holding here for 1. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Now here, maybe you want to try for the last 2 breaths to straighten your legs. Inhaling. Exhaling, really suck in that tummy. Really engage in those hip flexors to bring the legs up as high as you can. Last couple of breaths, inhale. Exhale. You'll feel great afterwards, believe me. Inhale. And then exhale. Nice. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. Bring the knees into the chest. And round the spine ever so slightly. Deep breath in. And exhale. Let it go. So we're going to rock and roll on along the length of our spine. And eventually rock up to stand. So inhale back.
Toby,
Exhale
can you
forward.
take energy?
Inhale, take as many times as you need. And we'll all meet in
Oh, thank you.
Tadasana. There we go. Doesn't matter if it was messy or smooth, we all made it there together. Inhale, deeply bend the knees, sweep the arms up, Utkatasana chair. Exhale, hands to prayer, and hook the left elbow on the outside of the right knee this time. Spinning the chest open, hands at heart center, sinking the hips for one. Inhaling, Parivrtta Utkatasana. Exhale, two. As you inhale, you're bringing the left knee back in space, the right hip forward, so that your knees are in one line. Exhale, three. Inhaling. Exhale, four. Inhale, hands should be at sternum in order to twist the chest open. Five. Inhale, look at your feet. And then slowly as you engage your core, really suck in that core, engage your pelvic floor to steady yourself. Bring the left heel in towards the butt. And then step the left foot way back, either dropping the left toes to the floor or keeping the left, tucking under the left toes and keeping the left knee up. And then staying here for Parivrtta Padangusthasana, holding here for one. Inhaling. Exhale, two. Inhale, your knee is up, really kick that left heel way back. Exhale, four. Inhale, spinning the chest open, gazing over, right shoulder, five. Inhale, look at your right foot, and then gracefully place the left knee on the outside of the right foot. That was better that time. And then bring your sitting bones down to the mat. Wiggle your feet out of the way if need be. Both sitting bones grounded down. Lifting the left arm alongside the left ear, and then exhale. Left elbow hooks on the outside of the right knee, right arm behind you for half-seated spinal twist. Inhale. Exhale, one. Inhale, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Exhale, two. Inhaling, spinning on one axis, three. Inhale. Exhale, four. As you inhale, feel the left side of your ribcage expanding. And as you exhale, the right side shrinking. Inhale, return to center. And then exhale, derotate for one breath. And then inhale, spin that right, bring that right leg all the way back behind you. Setting up for pigeon on the other side. So remember the front shin can be parallel to the front of the mat, or it can be at a 45-degree angle or somewhere in between, wherever is comfortable with you. Again, you feel free to place some padding underneath the left butt cheek. Really wedge it in there to elevate your hips a little more so it's less intense on that outer hip. Otherwise, or wherever you are, square off the hips, hands by your hip side, then walk the hands forward, folding forward, leading with the chest. Hands can be out in front of you, bring your chest down and forehead to the mat. For pigeon, this is one. Inhaling. Exhale, two. Inhale, Eka Pada Raja Kapotasana, one-legged king pigeon. Exhale, three. Inhale, maybe it's a nice time to massage your third eye, rolling your head from side to side gently. Exhale, four. Really breathe into those spaces of discomfort, that places Place perhaps inside you in that left hip that's feeling a little bit challenged right now. Send it some love and try not to resist what's going on there. Make peace with it. Start a dialogue with it maybe. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, placing your hands to the mat, pushing into the fingertips slowly, bringing the torso up, and then exhale. Swing that right leg back. Okay, we're going to come into boat on the other side this time. So, bringing the shins parallel to the floor, and then arms alongside the legs, holding here for 1. Inhaling. If you didn't give it a go, let's try and straighten the legs this time. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale, 1. You have 5 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Remember, really suck in these tummy muscles. You want to have a nice straight back, so lift the chest for 3. Inhale. If you're shaking, that's good. Exhale, 4. Inhale. See if you can lift your chest and legs a little bit higher. Exhale, 5. Release the legs. Give yourself a great big hug to congratulate yourself. Well done. Nice work. Okay. Inhale. Slide the heels away from you. You're in a upward seated posture. We're going to do around a dandasana, stick pose. So toes are flexed, heels are kicking away from you. Or just put the fingertips by your side, or the palms can be by your side, depending on what length your arms are. Pressing into the hands or fingertips, lifting out through the chest, sucking in the core, engaging here. So you're very active here. You're engaging the legs, you're pulling up on the kneecaps, pulling up on the quadriceps, engaging, flexing the toes, and pushing into the mat to lift the chest. Holding here for 1, Dandasana stick. Exhale, 2. Inhale, really pull up on that pelvic floor and engage the core. Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale, 2. Inhaling. Exhale, 3. You might feel a little bit of a wobble here in the thighs. That's great. Exhale, 4. That means it's all working. Inhaling, lifting through the crown of the head. And exhale, 5. Just gently wiggle the legs up and down just to release them a little bit here. Now, place the palms of the hands halfway down your thighs, so halfway between your hips and your knees. And what you're going to do is really round the shoulders like we do in our cat posture, like we did cat-cows, okay? You're going to round the shoulders, really hunch like one of the members of the Addams family, and place the palms of the hands down. And what you're going to try and do is lift your hips up off the floor. Even if it's for 1 second, it's going to be great, and we can work on that, okay? On an inhale, engage the core, round the shoulders, push into the mat, and lift your butt off the floor. Holding here for 1. Inhale. If you fall out, just come straight back into it. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale, suck in the core. Come on, you can do it. Exhale, 4. Inhale, last breath. Exhale, 5. Release and enjoy all those amazing endorphins and your heart rate increasing and all those lovely juices coming around you from doing something a little bit more challenging. Well done. Nice. Inhale, bring the soles of the feet together, and then exhale, fold forward just for a moment. Baddha Konasana. Inhaling, and then exhale, forehead to mat. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, falling a little bit deeper, letting gravity overtake here. Last breath. And exhale, surrendering. Inhale, slowly come up. Bring the legs along the length of the mat. Come to lie on your backs and then roll over. Doesn't matter how you get here. Okay, so lying on your tummies, we're going to come into Salabhasana, locust. So on an inhale, lift, forehead, legs, arms, chest, everything. Holding here for 1. Inhaling, lifting the chest a little higher. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lifting the legs a little higher. To do that, you've got to engage your glutes. Exhale, 3. Inhaling, lifting up, which will help you lift your chest. Exhale, 4. Last breath, lift everything a little higher, as high as you can. Exhale, 5. Nice. Turn your head to one side and then roll. Rock your hips from side to side to release your lower back. Wonderful, lovely, juicy, yummy. Inhale, forehead to mat. You can either do another round of Salabhasana like this, or you bring your heels into your buttocks, grab hold of the outer edges of the feet and lift up, kick up, Vinyasa bird. Exhale, 1. Inhale, toes are together. Exhale, 2. Inhale, you're really kicking the legs up and back and away to pull yourself up even higher. Exhale, 3. Inhale, lifting the chest, looking up. Exhale, 4. Maybe you're rocking forward and back. That's also great too. Exhale, 5. Release, slowly release the legs, release the arms. Turn your cheek the other way and rock your hips from side to side. Here, take some deep belly breaths. Inhaling, massaging your spine from the inside, and exhaling. Inhale, and then exhale. Nice. Last one here. Again, are you being kind to yourself? Exhaling. Inhaling. Right, coming up to kneel. So just pressing into your hands, either side of your chest. Just lift up slowly to kneel. We're going to come into something called camel Vistrasana. So knees are a hip width apart and legs are just behind you. Feel free to tuck under the back toes to begin with. Okay, so just start with your toes tucked. As you inhale, place the palms onto your sacrum, the top of your butt, and lifting the chest up. So sternum almost wants to move up towards the sky. And then gently engaging those glutes, push your pelvis forward in space. So you're coming to a nice little back bend here. Your elbows will naturally want to move towards each other behind you, and that's good, that's fine. So either stay here if that's enough for you. Otherwise, you can feel free to drop your head back if your neck is okay. And then if that's enough for you, stay here. Or if you want to go a bit deeper, reach back without twisting and then grabbing hold of the outer heels. And then if you're okay here and you want to go even deeper, if you're a little flexible in the back, then maybe you untuck your toes and you come all the way back. So it's kind of like Dhanurasana, what we've just done, but you're kneeling instead. Wherever you are, hold here for 5 more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale wherever you are, really try and move that pelvis forward in space by engaging the glutes here. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhaling. Exhale 4. Last breath. Exhale 5. So inhale. So really engaging your core as you come up. Being careful of the neck, tuck the chin into chest, and then slowly wherever you are, sink the hips back onto the heels, come into a kneeling posture, Virasana, hero's pose. Close the eyes, bring the hands to heart center, and just realign yourself with your breath. Notice how your body feels. You've just done a big heart opening posture, so a lot of fresh blood and fresh oxygen has just come into this heart cavity within your rib cage, and it can sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming. It's a little bit of a vulnerable position for us to be in. It's unusual. We often hunch in our daily lives, but also emotionally, it can sometimes bring some things up for you. So just take a few breaths here. Realign yourself with your breath, reconnect, and just notice how you feel. And remember, we can hold paradoxes of being strong but vulnerable, suffering but having compassion, and being powerful but also loving. Nice. Okay, so when you are ready, just turn your hips to one side and bring your feet out in front of you. And then just come to lie on your back for a moment. Give yourself a bit of a hug. I'm just going to round off the practice with a little inversion. So you can bring a piece of padding or a cushion underneath you, underneath the lower back, and tuck it all the way into your sit bones, and then lie on this cushion or bolster, and then bring your legs out up towards the sky for waterfall, arms wide, palms facing up. Or you can come into a shoulder stand or a headstand. I'm not going to teach headstand here, but for shoulder standers, come to lie on your back, bring the legs overhead, knees to forehead or thereabouts. Bring your palms of your hands down, walk them down your spine towards your shoulder blades, and then gradually lift up. Wiggle those elbows in towards you, behind you, in towards each other behind you, not towards you. Elbows towards each other, behind you, and then lift up. So you're all in one line. The hips are above the shoulders, the knees are above the hips, and the ankles are above the knees. Wherever you are, stay here for around 10 breaths. Elongate the back of the neck if you're in shoulder stand, and continue to walk the hands down your spine towards your shoulder blades to really lift up and out of your shoulders here. And then find some stillness, reconnect with your breath. You may want a focal point like your navel or your toes. And enjoy the feeling of having your legs elevated to be inverted. If you are not inverting at all, then bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees flop out and just come to lie on your backs. Again, palms facing up. Another 5 breaths here, all in your own time. And then when you're ready, slowly bring the legs down from wherever you are. Maybe remove any padding you have, any props. Give yourself a little hug. And then bring the knees over to the right and the hips to the left, just for a little supine twist. Looking and then gazing over your left shoulder. 5 breaths here. Softening around the midriff. Maybe you want to adjust your knees so they're at navel height. That might increase the stretch for you. Shoulders melting down in towards the mat. Inhale, bring the knees into the chest one more time, and then adjust the hips, bring the hips over to the right and the knees to the left this time. As you stretch the right arm out, gazing over towards the right fingertips. Again, you're softening your shoulders are sinking into the mat, they're feeling heavy. Your knees are about navel height. And you're softening around the midriff here, twisting, enjoying a nice diagonal stretch across the spine. Softening, feeling heavy, reconnecting with the earth. Inhaling, bringing the knees into the chest, and then elongating the legs, stretching the legs the length of the mat, setting up for Shavasana. Palms facing up, arms wider than the body, toes flopping out. Find some stillness, reconnecting with yourself. Knowing that we can hold paradoxes, resting, but also being awake. Softening around the jaw. Softening around the face. Feeling heavy and grounded. Rivers till I reach you. Rivers and road, rivers till I reach you. Rivers and road, rivers till I reach you. So feel free to stay in Shavasana if you wish, but otherwise I'll talk you out of it. Slowly start to deepen the breath, bringing some movement back into the body. Wiggling fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles, maybe taking an overhead stretch. And then taking your time to all meet in a comfortable seated position on the mat. with the eyes closed, bringing the hands to heart center. Maybe taking this opportunity to pass on gratitude to having the time to practice and having all those things in our lives that we love and that make us happy and keep us safe. And maybe it's time, maybe take this opportunity to send love to people who are trying to make a difference out there, trying to make the world a better place. With all these very strange things, sad things happening, and maybe, just maybe, there's a part of us that would also like to be part of that change, and that can try and be a part of that change and maybe make a difference too. And sending love to all the people who really are making changes for the better. Namaste.